Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be going over my top 5 low-level money-making methods. Now these will all be able to be done on low-level accounts. It's kind of up to interpretation, but most of these will not take more than a couple hours to get the requirements for. Alright guys, hope you enjoy, and let's get started. Alright, first up here, coming in at number 5 is something that can be done at level 7 magic, and that is enchanting Sapphire rings. Very easy to do. All you have to do is buy them off the Grand Exchange, buy some cosmic runes, and enchant them with the level 7 spell. Now I went and did a test buy right now, and it looks like I'm going to get about 140 to 150 GP per cast, and I can do about 1500, maybe less per hour. It really comes down to how quickly you can click. Now you're also going to get about 28k magic experience, which at level 7 is quite a lot. You'll be flying through those early magic levels. So for how much money you're going to make, it's going to be probably between 200k and 250k an hour. Obviously it really depends on your clicking speed and what prices you bought the rings at. If I kept up with this speed, I'd probably get about 200k an hour. So for level 7 magic, it's actually quite good. The reason this works is because people will always need rings of recoil, and it's kind of a menial task in enchanting them, so there's always going to be a margin on rings like this. After you get higher magic, you could actually move on to enchanting rings of dueling. I think the money is actually not as good right now. However, your XP per hour for magic will go up quite a bit if you're looking to get more magic experience. Now besides level 7 magic, the only other requirement would be a bit of cash, maybe 200k. However, you can just do as much as you can afford and then sell it and repeat until you have enough to do it for an hour straight. Now this method actually got a little bit easier recently because they changed the model for the unenchanted Sapphire ring. It's just the ring reverse, but it makes it so much easier to know which ones you've already enchanted. So this might actually be a little bit better than it was when I made it in one of my other videos. Now coming in at number 2 is a very old school method, but one that is actually fairly profitable. When you look at the price of iron compared to the other minerals, it's actually quite expensive comparatively. Like, I think it's more expensive than mithril currently. I don't know, mithril for some reason is not worth anything. But anyway, a very effective way to do this is to have the Ardoon Cloak 1, which you'll need to unlock by doing the Ardoon Easy Diaries. Very easy to get, and definitely worth it for a multitude of reasons. The reason this is so good is because it's actually very close to an iron patch when you teleport. After that, you just bring a Ring of Dueling and you run back home. Now one other thing you can do to increase your GP per hour here is by wearing the Varrock Armor 1, which is achieved by doing the Varrock Easy Diaries. This will give you a 10% chance of getting double up to coal, so this will actually increase your GP per hour by a little bit more. Not necessary, but if you can get it, definitely worth it. So here you're going to make around 200k to 250k an hour, depending again on your mining level and your click speed and whatnot. The experience per hour can vary a bit, but you're probably going to get between 25k and 30k an hour, again depending on quite a few factors here. But considering this is such an old school and obvious method, it's actually pretty good for early levels. The requirements here are only 15 mining, however obviously higher mining will be better, but once you get a rune pickaxe, which really doesn't take that long, you'll be kind of almost one-hitting these rocks most of the time anyway. While it's not as quick as power mining for experience, it's definitely better than running from any of the other iron patches like in South Varrock and all that. Definitely quicker because you can teleport right back to a bank and then teleport pretty much right back to the iron rocks, all with a unlimited teleport item and a Ring of Dueling, which is very cheap to begin with. So we finished up our inventory, so let's just go price check it quickly. Iron ores were 226, that was a 6k inventory we got in like a minute. Very effective way to get money early game and to train up your mining. Okay, coming in at number 3 is actually a method I've talked about a few times on some of my higher level videos. That is making unfinished potions. Now, it's not only for high level accounts with tons of money. You can actually do this with some lower level herbs. The one I'm going to show you is the Harralander potion unfinished, which relatively Harralander is pretty cheap. You're only going to need about 500k GP in total to do it for about an hour, and you'll need 22 herb lore to make the unfinished potions. So once you buy the 2 off the Grand Exchange, you're always going to want to check the margin. Right now it's about 100 GP per herb created into a potion. However, making these is relatively quick. You can probably do between 1500 and 2k an hour. So right now we're looking at about 150k to 200k an hour. Obviously the margin can make it more or less GP per hour just depending on what you buy it at. But you can see how quickly you make these into potions. You just make 14 at a time, bank them quickly, and then withdraw 14 more. The main downside to this method is that it does not provide any experience in herb lore, which would be nice. However, herb lore experience is almost never free. Whilst right now I'm only getting about 200k an hour from this method, I would definitely look at this often because occasionally you can get really good margins like 150, 200 GP per herb, and then you're looking at 400k, 500k an hour, and only requires level 22 herb lore. Other lower level herbs you can try doing this with is Guam, however the margins are not very good. Renars do occasionally have good margins, however the cost of the herbs is quite high, so it makes it a little bit restrictive that way. And honestly, any of the herbs when made into an unfinished potion will most likely yield some profit. You probably don't want to do it below 100k an hour anyway, but it's definitely worth having a look. If you have a look on GE Tracker, there's a section for unfinished herb creation that will show you all of the latest margins and prices if you're too lazy to check them yourself. Now coming in at number 4 is a method that I've touched on quite a few times, and that is Telegabbing Wines of Zamorak. However, a couple months ago they made a pretty substantial change to how viable this method is. Now currently they have added a second level to the area that you telegrab the Wines of Zamorak. To get to the top level, you need to wear a Zamorak robe top and bottom. Now on the top level, you can telegrab the wine without any of the monks attacking you, whilst on the bottom level, you will get attacked by all the monks. That being said, as soon as they attack you, you can go up the ladder. So essentially, if you have a free world, you're getting a spawn every 30 seconds twice. So you should be able to telegrab a Wine of Zamorak every 15 seconds. You can see that I just ran upstairs and it de-aggroes them when you go back down, so it's very convenient. I usually just leave my protect from melee on. I'm not sure if it's actually protected any damage at this point, but there is an altar right here that you can use to restore your prayer anyway, so it's not that big a deal. So the requirements for the Wines of Zamorak method is 33 magic, the Zamorak robe top and bottom, and to have access to the top level you need to complete the quest Another Slice of Ham. Now if you can successfully telegrab both spawns, you're probably looking to make 400k an hour here, maybe more. If you can only get one spawn, you're going to get about 200k an hour. And now that they've added the quest requirements, I've noted there are quite a less amount of bots here. Still a noticeable amount, but not nearly as bad as it was before, and now you have the potential to almost double your profit over what the method used to offer. And last up here, coming in at number 1, is mining the Volcanic Ash on Fossil Island. The requirements for this method are pretty low, just level 22 mining. However, you will need 100 kudos, which is probably the highest requirement of this video. That being said, it doesn't actually have a lot of high skill requirements, just a lot of quests need to be done. So ideally you would actually have 40 mining, but you can do it at level 22. It's going to slow you down, but obviously that's true for any method. The easiest way to get here is with a dig site pendant. You teleport to the dig site area, take the boat to Fossil Island, and then just going to run a little bit north, following the way I am going currently. You're just going to run a little bit to the east and up in the agility shortcut, otherwise you have to run around the long way. So what you're going to be looking for are these volcanic ash piles on the ground. The benefit of this method is it's somewhat AFK actually, because you click on it once and you just wait for you to finish mining all of the volcanic ash, and it is stackable, which is a huge benefit. You will not have to bank it all until you feel like it. Now the XP per hour here is not very good because you're only getting 10 XP per volcanic ash mined. However, each one of them is worth about 300 to 400 GP depending on the price. Let's have a quick look right now. Right now they're worth 340 GP, and we got 11 from the first stack. The GP per hour here is going to be about 300 to 400k an hour, depending on how attentive you are and your mining level. So it's very good AFK, and there's not a lot of people here doing it right now, which is nice. Even if there was, there's tons of rocks, and you really just need to run between about 3 of them. Right now we're just running up the mountain and mining as we go, but once you get to the top, there's about 3 rocks that are pretty close together that are kind of form a triangle that's a little more efficient than running back and forth in a line. And that's about it, guys. Those are my top 5 low-level money-making methods. I hope you find some of them useful and will help you make some money in your early levels. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave it a like. I always appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions for another money-making video, I'd appreciate it if you left a comment, let me know. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time.